Hey everybody, welcome back to another news update. Now today we're going to be talking about Crash Bandicoot and the new Crash Bandicoot 4, which is obviously coming to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on October the 2nd, I believe. And yeah, super excited to hear about the new Crash game. Now some news has come out about Activision, and they had a statement to make, and they said that they're currently evaluating other platforms. Obviously other platforms does, make us think that Switch might be on the cards for Crash Bandicoot 4. It isn't confirmed, obviously, as of yet, and the game is only confirmed for PlayStation 4 and also Xbox One, and many Switch fans are wondering if the game is going to come to Switch. Now, personally, I'm not really sure if this is going to happen, but it is interesting to see that Activision are sort of experimenting with those other places that Crash Bandicoot could be. They have said other places, they have said other platforms, they haven't, specifically said Nintendo Switch, they've just said other places, and, that could mean places such as PC, or, hell, even a mobile port, but, I don't know, I don't think it'll happen on mobile, but yes, there is, Activision are looking into Crash Bandicoot 4 specifically, on other consoles or other platforms. Other platforms could mean something such as Xbox Game Pass, or even something like Google Stadia. Obviously, as a Nintendo fan, and I'm playing obviously here the Insane Trilogy here on Switch, and it is running perfectly. It is actually a really good port. Of course, I'd love to see the game on the Switch, and oops, just died. Because I'm running it on the Switch, I'm playing it really good now, and it's running really well now. I wouldn't be surprised if it did come to Switch. But it's interesting to see that Activision are looking at other places and other platforms that the game can be on. And, it all comes down to a thing of if the Switch can run it. Obviously, we know that Nitro Fueled and the Spyro Trilogy and the Crash Trilogy have all sold really well on Switch. They're actually all on sale on the eShop right now. And, Activision are really happy with the sales results they've had with the games, I believe. So, I wouldn't be surprised if it does come to Switch. I think the only thing that's stopping it coming to Switch is that, technical barrier. Can the Switch run this? And we're seeing this be run, it's running fine. It doesn't look as good, but it's got 30 FPS like the other consoles, and, the visuals aren't there, but it's never lags out, and it runs, it looks nice, it's doing a decent job. And I've never had a problem with the Insane Trilogy. Load times have been fine on the Switch version. Everything's been really good, honestly. So, I mean, if it's running on the same engine as the Insane Trilogy, it would make sense, to port Crash 4. But if it's in a whole new engine and there's all particle effects and lighting effects, then obviously more things might need to be cut back, and it might be a bit too much to ask. I don't think this is a thing of how much money is needed or will it sell well. I think it's more of a thing of, are we able to run it? Is the Switch powerful enough to run it? And with the game sort of being boosted on the Xbox Series X, as we've seen, and teased for the PlayStation 5, it does sort of, beg the question, are we, is it going to be too powerful? Is it only just running on current gen? Is it only just running on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One? And if it's a thing it is only just running on Xbox One and PlayStation 4, then, that's probably the reason why we're not seeing it on Switch. If it's a thing, it's running quite well and it can easily be ported, I think we will see it. But it is interesting to see that we have heard from Activision themselves saying looking at other platforms, and that could just mean Google Stadia, or whatever the case may be with that. So I don't want to get everybody's hopes up as of yet, but it's interesting to see that we're a little bit further the whole situation. Now, one thing I think could happen is, because the people that are developing this are Toys for Bob, I think a similar thing could happen what they did with the Spyro Reignite trilogy. Obviously, the Spyro Reignite trilogy came out in, I believe, 2018 for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and all that. So, and then Activision, or Toys for Bob, then took a year out, and they then made the Spyro trilogy for PC and then Switch 1 year later. Because it's the same devs, because it's the same publisher, I won't be surprised to do that again. But it is interesting to see that as of July of 2020, that we are they are already experimenting with that. So we might already be a step further in developmental process. So they might have already progressed so far. So maybe we could see those ports earlier, maybe less time. So yeah, it's interesting to see. But it is nice that they're saying that they're investigating and looking into places that the game could be. And, I don't want to get people's hopes up, because this just could be a Stadia port, this could be a PC port, which is fine, people that like PC and like Stadia, but I don't want to get Nintendo fans really built up and really hyped when, it might not necessarily be a thing that happens, But as much as I'd like it, I'm not really sure, honestly. Obviously, Crash 4 does look amazing, and so does, does the Insane Trilogy, but Crash 4 is going for a different art style, honestly, and it's just sort of, I don't know how to describe it. It just feels technologically more advanced. Not saying that the Insane Trilogy looks bad in any way. I'm just saying that I think, this new Crash 4 is really trying to do something new, which is fine. and that new thing that they're trying to do might not be possible on that hardware that's in the Switch. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on this, because I'm sort of 50-50 split. Of course, deep down, I would love the game on Switch. I prefer to buy games on Switch because obviously you can play them anywhere. So it is, to me, better to buy games on Switch than anywhere else. And of course, as I am excited for Crash Bandicoot 4, I'll buy it on Switch or I'll buy it on Xbox. If I have to buy it on Xbox, I will, but I'd prefer to buy it on Switch. So it's one of those things, But let me know your thoughts. Do you think that this could actually happen? It's interesting to see, we have a confirmation that they are looking into it, at the very, very least. And, maybe they are going to look into it, and it's going to be one of them things which is like, yeah, we've looked into it, it can't do it, we can't run it, we're not going to do it. So maybe we'll never hear anything ever again. But interesting to see. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is this going to happen? Is it not going to happen? Are Activision just saying this? Does it mean a PC port? What does it mean? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you in another news update. Cheers for watching, everybody.